Sun lay crooked on a courthouse hill. Rope on a beam, crowd hungry for a kill. Sheriff said time of making a sign. Boards and iron by the old start line. They stretched my arms on that splinter of wood. Rust-bitten nails where my fist once stood. Hammerhead gleaming like a preacher's ring. Came down hard just to hear me sing. First hit rang out like a broke church bell. Second one shook like the floor of hell. Blood ran slow down the grain and grit, but my jaw locked tight, I just stared through it. I said, hey, God, you keeping score up there. You're marking down pain or just who says a prayer? Devil in my ear chuckled, you're my friend. I laughed back low, you don't own my end. Every swing of that hammer, every cold steel kiss, turn my pulse to a drum I refuse to miss. They tried to nail me down. Whoa. I turned the hurt to a sound. Whoa. Every strike on my skin was a beat I could bend. Every ring in the wood was a note I could send. They tried to silence me under iron and him, but I locked eyes with the sky and made the pain of him. Yeah, I made the pain of him. Crawled in on a thunderhead spine. Land swung low on a hangman's line. Crowd thinned out, just boots and smoke. Few last curses that they never quite spoke. Rain came down all cold and mean, washed my blood into the crack machine. I felt that wood hum under my back, like the cross itself wanted to fight back. Saw a face float up in the lightning glare, wild hot woman with a praying upstairs. She once said, baby, you're too hard to break. You turn every bruise into something you make. I coughed up rust, grinned through the sting, heard the nail song climb and begin to ring. I said, if I walk out of this nailed up night, I ain't running from wrong, I'll just walk it right. Don't wipe my slate, don't bleach my sin. Just let this iron write the man I've been. Lightning hit close, shook dust from the frame. Those nails rang out like they were calling my name. They tried to nail me down. I turned the hurt to a sound. Every slam of that hammer was a drum in my chest. Every shiver in the timber was a vow confessed. They thought they'd hang my voice on a cross run thin, but I stared down the hate and made the pain of him. Yeah, I was torn, I was wrong, but I still wouldn't bend. I let the iron spell my story to the bitter end. I didn't break those nails, I just sang through the din. They tried to silence me. Neon buzzing outside that paper-thin wall. Cheap room Bible sitting crooked by the phone call. He's standing over that sink, eyes rimmed red, whiskey on his breath, smoke in his head. Mirror framed in rust, glass gone gray, shows a stranger wearing his face halfway away. Not the boy his mama prayed for at night, just a man built wrong out of fight and spite. He leans in close, sees every line he hit, every lie he sold, every wrong thing he did. Fist hits the glass with a low hard crack. Spiderweb veins start crawling right back. He mutters, hey God, then me in there, or some scarecrow soul in my skin to wear. Devil in the towel says looks fine to me. He left you wood you never cared to see. One more hit and the glass loses you. Stops showing his face, just screams the truth. He broke the mirror, so it finally showed him right. Shaw's on the floor, catching holy, dirty light. Every crack in the frame was aligned in his sin. Every drop of blood turned a note into him. He'd been hiding from the man, staring back all his life. He broke the mirror, and it finally showed him right. Glass on the counter, glass on the rug, one piece stuck deep in the meat of his nook. He picks it out slow, lets the red river run like a pen writing names he can't outrun. Tiny shot in his palm like a frozen eye, shows a sliver of him you can't buy nor deny. He sees that girl he left crying in the drive, sees a man he shot just to feel alive. Sees his old man's face, disappointed and mean, Bible in his fist, veins all green. He whispers to the shot, you know what I am, and just gleams back hard. Doesn't give a damn, he presses it close to the cut on his hand, lets blood kiss glass like a dog wet in bed. He says, I ain't asking you to change what I've been, just don't let me lie about the shape of my sin. If I'm built from bad steel, I'll own that fight, long as I see it straight in the dead of night. He lifts that shard up to the busted bare light, sees a man standing wrong, trying to stand right. He broke the mirror, bullets only show him right. Turn the shine into shards, turn the glow into sight. Every splinter on the floor was the truth come due. Every sting in his hand was the world coming through. We've been living in a suit on a borrowed lies, now he wears his scars like a pair of eyes. He didn't need that false clean face to survive the night. He broke the mirror, and the broken glass showed him right. Now when he walks past glass, he don't look away, lets the wrong and the right both stand in the day. He ain't healed, he ain't holy, but he's done with the disguise. Better shattered and honest than whole in a stranger's eyes. Sirens cut out, sky gone red and black. Storefront glass laying like a busted trap. Smoke crawling slow through a downtown tomb. Brick bones showing through the ribs of the rooms. I walked that street with my collar pulled high, ash on my boots, hell in my eye. Church on the corner with a steeple snap, cross half melted, front door cracked. I stepped inside where the roof gave way. Rain of embers falling where the stained glass lay. I said, hey God, you clocked out tonight. City's on fire, you ain't inside. Devil laughs off from a smoking pew. Boy, this mess looks good on you, but my hand found a rope in that blackened frame, and the bell above shook like it knew my name. Hobble that rope in the ashtray, let the bronze throw scream through the smoke and stain. Every swing of that bell was a fist in the sky, beat for the lost who forgot how to try. Didn't ring for heaven, didn't ring for a king. It rang for the broke that still felt the sting. Even ashes can echo if you strike them with faith. I didn't save the world, but I made the fire shake. out town. You can hear that bell in the low, rough sound. It don't ring for heaven, it rings for the strays, for the ones like me who walk through flames and stay. Just a bruise on the sky. You're walking down the line where the blacktop dies. Cold-ribbed open boots, chew raw, steel on your hip but no rounds in the jaw. You lost your blade in a fight gone wrong, lost your friends in the smoke and the gunpowder song. Ain't no saddle, ain't no home inside, just wind cutting through you like a ballroom slide. Your hands hang dead at the end of your sleeves, more used to taking than letting things leave. You open your palm, there's nothing but air, just a crack in the cold and some old dry prayer. You mumble, hey God, you still seeing me clear, or am I just static in your busted old ear? Devil by the ditch says, boy, you're mine. You spit, you ain't got the nerve to walk this line. That wind rushes in, tries to steal your breath, but your empty hand curls like it's choking dead. You held nothing in that fist but the cold, but it shook when you squeezed like it turned into gold. Every knuckle wide, every tendon tight, turned thin dead air into something that bites. You didn't need a sword or a holy sign of life. You held nothing, and it held you back to life. Later on, you're standing on a dust-red rise, sun cut thin across your tired eyes. Time far off like a rusted crown. One more place they tried to put you down. You got no crew, no badge, no ring, just a busted up cross on a leather string. Blood on your collar from an old last fight, dry like ink on a page where wrong, not right. You drop to a knee in the gravel and bone. Hear how quiet it is when you're truly alone. Your right hand shakes like it's reaching for steel, but there's nothing there, just the way you feel. You hear your own voice say, boy, look at you, trying to grab ghosts like they're gonna pull you through. Then deeper down like a drum in your chest, another voice growls, stand up, do the rest. You curl that hand till the veins stand blue. Say, if I got nothing, then I got what's true. If you ain't sending angels, fine by me. I'll walk this world with my own damn gravity. The weight I carry be the weight I choose, not the guns I lost or the friends I lose. The wind backs off like it heard your claim, to swirl slow around the shape of your name. You held nothing in that fist but the cold, but it formed on your grip like it learned to hold. Every shake in your bone, every scar in your mind, turned thin dead air into strength you could find. You didn't need a blade or a crown to survive. You held nothing, and it held you back to life. But you're cutting like a knife with a hand. Oh, nothing that still holds your life. Midnight highway dead, I limped out past the border sign. Boots full of dust and bourbon, wrongs all walking in a line. Moon hanging like a rusted halo over busted bones. Hands still shaking from the last bad thing I done alone. I cut my palm with a pocket blade, let the red run down. Knelt in that desert like a drunk man praying to the ground. I wrote your name in mine in blood where the dunes turn white. Told God and the devil, one of y'all better read this right. The wind came howling, tried to scrub my sin. Whipped that sand like it could start again. But every grain that stuck to my skin felt like a choir saying, boy, dig in. So I bled my oath out in the desert dirt. If it don't save my soul, it can brand my hurt. The sand might shift, might swallow my face, but it won't drink down what my heart put in place. Let the wind erase my name if it wants to be honest. Yeah, the wind erase my name, but not my promise. Sun came up like judgment, red across a canyon rim. Crows drew circles over me like they'd already picked a hymn. My shadow looked like a preacher wearing outlaw boots, Bible in one hand, pistol where he hides the truth. I heard your voice in the heat say, baby, you don't change. And another voice laughed low, nah, he just learns new kinds of strange. I stared at the dry blood lines still burning in the sand. Felt every lie I ever told wrapped tight around my hand. I said, Lord, if you listen, don't you clean me white. Just leave my scars where they can catch the light. I gotta drag the sin through the rest of my days. Let it shine like steel in the desert haze. Cause I bled my oath out in the desert dirt. If it don't save my soul, it can brand my hurt. The sand might shift, might swallow my face, but it won't drink down what my heart put in place. Let the wind erase my name if it wants to be honest. Yeah, the wind erase my name, but not my promise. Years roll by like freight trains, black smoke in my rearview glass. I done jobs for crooked angels, took communion out of flasks, put silver on the altar, bought forgiveness by the pound. Kissed that wildfire in your eyes till it burned the church house down. But every time I cross a border, every time I draw a gun, I feel that desert under me, see that bleeding rising sun. My ghost line up like choir boys in a rusted empty pew, and the worst one in the front row still looks a lot like you. Last night the wind leaned in my ear and said, you ain't clean, boy, but you ain't dead. You wear your sins like a second skin, but you're still the one who carved them in. So I stand my ground in this wicked shirt. If it don't buy me heaven, it's to prove my worth. The sand might shift, might swallow my face, but it can't blow out what my blood put in place. Let the wind erase my name, let the saints stay cautious, cause the wind erased my name, but not my promise. And if I gotta burn for every line I wrote that night, I'll burn standing up with my boots laced tight. I ain't asking for mercy, just a clear cold sky where the sand keeps its oath and my soul stops trying to hide. .317 in a bone dry yard, paneling in church. Cold moon hanging like a busted porch light over dirt and birch. I taste clay rust and Sunday wine leaking through my teeth. Hear boots quit walking, hear the last and fade above my reach. They shoved me down with a crooked cross and a fistful of lies. Cheap suit, closed box, preacher never once looked in my eyes. They said he's gone, let the sinner sleep, let the town move on. But my sins were too damn loud to just lay there and be gone. Down in the dark, my ribs began to rattle like a tambourine. Every bone in my chest beat time for all the things I've been. I felt the worms back off like they knew I wasn't done. Heaven slammed the door, hell just laughed, and I chose none. Grave dirt on my tongue, but my will still tastes like steel. Every secret that I buried started scratching at the seal. I said, if you wanted me quiet, you should've killed my name. Cause the dead don't stay dead when the guilt still burns like flame. Death buried me, but it forgot my will. I shook that box till the whole night stood still. Bones started laughing up to the gate, rusty chain singing soft in the midnight breeze. Moonlight tracks my shadow limping past the crooked trees. I wipe the marshals off my name with a handful of scar and stain. Lightning flashes, every letter looks carved out of someone's pain. There she is, wild hair, black dress, whiskey in her hand, kneeling by my stone like she's praying to a broken man. She says, you left me with your dead and your ghost in my bed. I whisper, baby, I'm right here, I just came back from the dead. Devil on my shoulder flicks ash off a cigarette or smokes a sign right here. I'll buy your shame, turn it into a joke. A silver cross on my chest burns out through shirt and skin. Bible words I never learned start pounding from within. So I crack my knuckles on the marble, draw a circle in the mud, slice my palm on the edge of that stone, let it drink my blood. I ain't running, I tell the dark, I walk back into town. Let every lie I ever told come right and try to shoot me down. Grave dust on my boots, but my voice feels rough and real. Every wound I tried to hide just turned into my steel. I said, Lord, if you're watching, don't you dare look away, 'cause I'm dragging all my dirt into your holy light today. Death buried me, but it forgot my will. I shook that box till the whole night stood still. Bones started laughing in the black cold ground, like, boy, you ain't done till the truth comes out. I crawled out smiling with a scar-tooth grin. Graveyard rain washing dust off my sin. If heaven won't have me and hell won't claim, I'll build my own altar in the smoke and the flame. I'm death buried me, but I broke that cage. Turned my shame into a hard-won stage. Now every step I take on this cursed dirt road is a cold little light in the life I still owe. And if you hear bones laughing low past the old church gate, that's just me walking forward, not running from my fate. Around 11:03, out back of a half-dead bar on County 9. Neon open sign, half broke, bleeding red along the power line. He stands there, smoke scars curling up his neck like black tattoos. Boot heel grinding in a gasoline stain, worn out church boy shoes. Once he lit this whole lot up just to watch the sky turn black, watch the devil dance in the windows, never thought about turning back. They said that boy loves fire more than any god he's ever known. Now the flame that raised him up is scared of how cold his eyes have grown. Wind kicks ash across the gravel like old prayers turn to dust. There's a silver cross on his chain, gone rusty with misplaced trust. He pulls one low match from a crumpled pack, holding it in the dark. Every bad thing that he ever did flickers in that tiny spark. He says, you burned my skin, you burned my name. You taught me love can look like flame. Now every scar along his wrist feels like a loaded safe. And the night leans in to hear which side is gonna play. Once it on him, now fears his gaze. That little flame used to set his world ablaze. and it learns to obey. Cut to the church on the hill that he blackened out one year, July. Stained glass saints still cracking war from when he kissed God goodbye. Smoke ghosts cling to the rafters like they're waiting on his breath. Bell rope hanging like a verdict over all that half-burned death. There's a woman in his memory, laughing hard with whiskey eyes. She said, "Light it, baby, watch it bloom. Let's burn up all our ties. Wild love, wild night, wildfire, chewing through their sin." Next morning she was gone, just a scorch mark where her smile had been. Now he's standing in the doorway where the paint still peels like skin. Moonlight pouring through the broken roof like some reluctant hymn. He flicks that match and for a heartbeat, every demon holds his breath. Fire jumps up scared of him, remembering how close he walks with death. You gonna torch it again? Some ghost of her whispers in his ear. He answers, "No, not tonight, girl. I'm the only thing to fear." He turns that match from pew to cross, from history to the floor. Then kneels and lights one candle where the flames once kicked the door. He says, "I ain't your toy, I ain't your slave. You ain't my lover and you ain't my grave." Every sin he ever fed that flame comes crawling back to see, but the fire just shakes and shivers where it used to run him free. Once it owned him, now it fears his gaze. That little flame used to set his world ablaze. It bowed down low when he stared it dead in the face. Like, "I remember when you burned me, now you know your place." Once it burned him, now it lights his way. Just a roughneck halo in the dark he made obey. He don't chase the fire, don't beg it to stay. He just says, "Walk behind me," and it clears his way. 'Cause I do you, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I do you, yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I do you, yeah, yeah. 'Cause a boy that played with matches grew into a man of scars, trading gasoline confessions for a trail of colder stars. If you see one small flame by the ruins where he used to stray, that's a fire that bowed to the burn, and it's just lighting his way. It was 245 Stone Road in from the west, mean and great. I was walking down Old Cross Hollow Road, where the law don't stay. My coat was soaked in gunpowder sweat, my sleeves still crusted red. And every drop of rain looked down like it remembered what I said. Last night I took a man's sin, tried to trade it for my own. He begged God in the mirror, but I just heard my tone. He said, "You think blood buys heaven?" I said, "It might rain tonight." Then thunder cracked so hard it turned his halo into light. Now the rain hits hard on the roof of this soul I wear, but it slides right off that scar, too scared to care. I said you can drown the world storm, I won't drown with it, 'cause pain taught me grace and the wound won't quit. The rain feared the scar that made me real, touched the ground but not what I can't heal. Once it tried to break me, now it just kneels. Like the man don't cry, he makes the sky feel. Learned my pain, so it washed the world instead. While I walked on through, baptized in red. If the heavens can't cleanse what my soul became, then let the thunder pray in my name. Flashback to the night by the chapel, half burned and cold. Father said, confess, son. I said, Father, I already sold. He crossed himself slow, said no man's too far gone. But when he touched my scar, his hand shook, then he moved on. I buried my gun in the mud where my sins took root. Lit a cigarette off lightning, felt the storm salute. Every raindrop curved around my shoulder like it knew the rule. You can't drown a man who's already made peace with the cruel. I raised my head and the clouds backed away. Saw my reflection in a puddle that refused to stay. Whispered, Lord, if I scare your rain, then maybe I'm clean, 'cause even the storm won't wash where the truth has been. Now the wind can scream and the thunder can preach, but the pain I keep is the sermon I teach. Said, go ahead, storm, take the rest of my name. But the scar just smiled, it already learned flame. The rain feared the scar that made me real. It touched the ground, but not what I can't heal. Once it tried to break me, now it just kneels. Like the man don't cry, he makes the sky feel. Learn my pain, so it washed the world instead. While I walked on through, baptized in red. If the heavens can't cleanse what my soul became, then let the thunder pray in my name. And when the night clears, you can still see the mark where lightning kissed flesh and the wound glowed dark. The storm passed by, didn't dare to stay, 'cause I became the calm it tried to slay. You walked out of town when the sirens quit, dust still hanging where your shadow fit. Boots dragged through ash, coat smelling like Rome. Wind hums your crimes like a half-dead song. You ain't praying, you're just breathing slow. Hands still glowing where the fire won't go. Whoa. The gun in your palm feels more like a hymn. Ain't no mercy left, but it still sings within. You said if hell's a road, I already paved it. If God still watches, he's the one who saved it. Oh. Lightning caught your face, turned your guilt to glass, and every scar you earned started burning like gas. You turned your sins into stars tonight. Burn the dark just to make it bright. Every wrong you did caught fire and spun, and the night lit itself on what you done. You ain't running, you're baptized in flame. Every ghost you knew still calls your name. You said I ain't pure, but I still shine within, 'cause you lit the night with your own sin.
Now you're walking that ridge where the sinners crawl, moon like a bullet hole, watching it all. Blood in the dirt mixed with the rain. That's your gospel, that's your chain. You passed the cross where your brother once knelt. He said fire forgives if it's what you felt. You dropped your head, whispered ain't that true, then lit a match and the sky lit too. You said I don't run from the flame, I feed it. If pain's the truth, then I'll bleed it. The wind turned still, the stars leaned in to see what kind of man burns and grins. You turned your sins into stars tonight. Burn the dark just to make it bright. Every wrong you did caught fire and spun, and the night lit its hell on what you done. You ain't cursed, you're carved in flame. Your shadow's gone, but your mark remains. You said I ain't saved, but I ain't gone dim, 'cause you lit the night from the dark within. Camera fade out, wide shot of the outlaw walking into the glow he created. Sky trembling above, torn between dawn and smoke. Midnight 30, back of a barn, it leans like it's about to fall. Cold smoke crawling up the rafters, paint peeled off and old. Envy singing like a church bell, bent out of shape for sin. Sweat and whiskey in my eyes, black halo around my grin. Steel bar glowing like a wound God never meant to close. My knuckles split and bleeding where the iron kissed my blows. Every strike I lay down feels like time I can't get back. Every spark that jumps says my soul turned hard and black. Devil in the corner smiling, boots up on a crate, says beat it harder boy, you know it's already too late. There's a Bible on the shelf, spine broke, pages torn in half. I tell them hell if I'm damned, at least I'll forge my own path.
Close up on hammer slamming steel, cut to low angle shot of my shadow dancing on the corrugated tin walls.
The bar screamed high when the first hit landed, rang like a louse I'd ever handed. I said you cry now, still I already did. I'm done playing victim for the life I live. Pain made me a weapon, not a wound. I learned to sing where the fire consumed. Every crack in my soul got filled with flame. Now the steel knows my blood, knows my name. I ain't just broken, I'm forging tune. I'm the blade that remembers every room. If you wanna know what the hammer's put me through, hear that steel cry out, there's me cutting through. Sunrise sneaks in through the slats like a lineup of crooked bars. Red light catching every scar, we're like falling stars. There's a locket on the nail, swinging slow above the fire. She said you love the forge more than me, and she wasn't alive. I took a picture off the wall, wiped the soot from both eyes. Saw a boy behind my stare that never learned to apologize, so I heated up that steel again. the color turned to blood, dipped it in the water where we once washed off the mud. The preacher came by once, stood outside in the rain, said, son, you can't be guilt out of metal or your brain. I held the blade up, chrome bright mirror in his fear, said, if God don't like what I became, he can step in here.
Medium shot from behind me, blade reflecting the preacher's face. Steam rises as hot steel hits the quench.
The steel screamed again when the edge met cold. Sounded just like every secret I told. I said, you don't break, you've been with me. We ain't victims, we're the thing they see. Find me a weapon, not a wound. I learned to see where the fire consumed. Every crack in my soul got filled with flame. Now the steel knows my blood, knows my name. I ain't just broken, I'm forged and tuned. I'm the blade that remembers every room. If you wanna know what the hammer's putting me through, hear that steel cry out, that's me cutting through. Mercy from the ones I've scarred. I just shake the shadows with a soul this hard. Cause I walked through the fire and I didn't come out the same. I walked in the sin, I walked out with my own name. Not a saint, not safe, but sharp and true. Just a steel that cried in the forge and learn what pain could turn me into. In the forging me into.
It was sundown by the riverbed, red dust thick as sin. He been riding 3 days straight with a hole still burning in. Coat torn open, blood like rust running down his hand. But he kept humming some old hymn only ghosts could understand. They found him kneeling by the cross where he swore and lied. Sky gone purple, thunder humming slow like pride. He laughed once, said, hell, I ain't done yet. Then the wind turned still, even death held its breath. Tracking shots circling around his body. The light flickers, his shadow long trembling under dying sun. You said you can take my pulse, but you won't take my sound. My blood's still drumming. 6 feet down, the earth leaned close. The rain stood still and the ground began to hum like a man will. His heart quit, but his story didn't. The dirt still beats where his blood had written. Each drop fell, sang back his name like you don't die, you just change flames. The wind picked up, the ground replied. There's a sign for the man who tried. Ain't no end for a soul that bleeds when the blood keeps humming what the heart decrees. They buried him slow, boots on, hands crossed tight, moon hung low like a rusted light. Preacher sleeping rest now, son. But the ground beneath said he ain't done. At midnight, thunder cracked his name in stone. Horses wail like they heard him moan. Every crack in the dirt shine red as dawn, like the blood itself refused to move on. And some say if you ride that ridge alone, you can hear his rhythm under the bones. Not a cry, not a plea, not the devil's hymn, just a man still talking where silence has been. White desert shot, same red glow pulses in the ground like a slow living heartbeat. He said, don't you mourn, don't you kneel, ain't death that ends what pain can feel. When truth hits steel, it burned and stayed. Now his name rides the wind he made. His heart quit, but his story didn't. The dirt still beats where his blood had written. Each drop fell, sang back his name like you don't die, you just change flame. Now every storm hums low with pride, every grave shakes when he's denied. Ain't no silence that can drown his creed, when the blood keeps singing what the soul still needs. And when the sky goes black but the ground still glows, that's him humming soft through the undertow. Ain't no death for a will that burned that blood, just sang. And the world learned. You walk through fire like a man half dead. Ash fell soft as snow on your head. City burned behind you, church bones still stood, and the bell rope hung like a scar in wood. You took that rope in your blistered hand, smoke in your lungs, blood in the sand. Whispered, if God won't call, then I will. Pulled once hard, the whole world stood still. Sound cut through like a broken prayer, rust and fate tangled in the air. You said I ain't saved, but I ain't lost, and every ring paid blood for cost. The bell had a bell that rang in the ash rain, didn't cry for God, it cried your name. Even the rooms turned their face to hear a sinner's voice louder than fear. You pull that chain like a promise kept, while angels wept for the ones who slept. Even ashes can echo if struck by faith, and you proved heaven ain't the only place. So smoke crawls slow through the holes in the pew. Candles melted like the things you knew. Cross hung sideways, cracked in two, and the flame in your chest burned clean and true. Someone whispered through the soot, it's done. You answered no, it's just begun. The bell swung higher, its voice turned red. Each told a prayer for the living instead. Mid-shot, ashes swirl around as the outlaw stands alone. The shadow trembling across his face. Every soul that hid from pain heard you ring through the ash and rain. You said if heaven closed, I'll climb, escape. Faith ain't hope, it's what you create. A bell that rang in the ash rain didn't cry for God, it cried your name. Even the ruins turned their face to hear a sinner song stronger than fear. We'll pull that chain till the silence broke, till the sky bent low in the rising smoke. Even ashes can echo if struck by faith, and you proved heaven ain't the only place. So some say it's that bell still calling your name. Not for the lost, not for the slain, but for those still standing in the ash rain. You lost your blade somewhere between dusk and dawn. Buried your faith cause the road kept on. Your brother's gone and they turned rough, and your hands just dirt and leftover dust. That wind cut sharp down the canyon's throat, cold as the promise that never spoke. You stare at your palm, it's empty skull, but the voice starts humming like a ghosted guitar.
Camera. Wide tracking shot. You walking through fog, hand half open against the wind, the horizon burning dull orange behind you.
You said, if I hold the dark, will it hold me too? If I got nothing, what's left to lose? The air turned still, like I knew your name. Oh, hey, oh, oh, oh. You held nothing, and it held you back to life. Turn the pain to steel, turn the edge to light. You clenched that void till it learned your name. Made the wind your oath, made the dark your flame. You don't need weight to stand your ground. You don't need sound to make the world resound. Cause the hand that closed on nothing that night still gripped the truth, and it burned bright. You walked past the cross where your brother fell. Didn't pray, didn't curse, just whispered hell. You remembered his words, still hot, still mean. Don't chase the soul, chase what it means. You found your reflection in a pool of ash. No crown, no gold, just a price of class. So you washed your hands in the dirt and pain, and it came up clean like a storm-born rain.
Close up. Ash water dripping from your hands, reflecting lightning as your grip closes on air again.
You said, if power don't live in what I own, then maybe it breathes in what I've known. Each scar a scripture, each wound a vow. You ain't waiting for grace, you make it now. Held nothing, and it held you back to life. Turn the pain to steel, turn the edge to light. You clenched that void till it learned your name. Made the wind your rope, made the dark your flame. You don't need weight to stand your ground. You don't need sound to make the world resound. Cause the hand that closed on nothing that night still gripped the truth, and it burned bright. And when the world has what's left to claim, you just raise that hand and call it flame, and call it flame, and call it flame, and call it flame. Too long at that motel glass, saw a stranger blinking back from your past. Room smelled like whiskey, smoke and sin, like buzzed weak, like it was scared to begin. Your knuckles hit first, then the mirror screamed. Cracks crawled out like a fever dream. Every shot on the floor still whispered your name, but they spoke it honest, and that cut deeper than pain. Camera close up on the mirror splintering. Reflections of red neon flash across fragments on the motel floor. You said, tell me who I was before the fire. Tell me which lie built my empire. The glass bled light, the truth bled through, and every crack pointed straight back to you. You broke the mirror, and they finally told you right. Showed the face you buried in the night. You took that pain and made it shine. Every scar became a straight line. You ain't shattered, you're just clear. Truth cut deep, but you stayed here. You broke the mirror just to see what's true, and what it showed still looked like you. You picked up a piece, caught your blood's reflection, heard your heartbeat's quiet confession. Ain't no preacher gonna wash that clean. You gotta live through what you've seen. The ghost in the glass said, boy, you lied. You laughed low, hell, I just survived. You raised a shard like a blade in prayer, and said, if truth cuts, I'll meet it there. Side shot, you hold a cracked shard under your jawline. Red light flickers as blood and reflection blend. You said if face just seeing, I've already paid. My side spot clean by the mess I made. Now the pieces glow in your open hand, like stars that burn to help you stand. You broke the mirror, and it finally told you right. Showed the face you buried in the night. You took that pain and made it shine. Every scar became a straight line. You ain't broken, you're reborn clear. Truth's your cross and your souvenir. You broke the mirror and it spoke through flames. Said the lies are gone, but the man remains. And when the glass turned dark again, you saw the sky where your sins had been. The mirror's gone, but the truth still stares right from the eyes of the man who dares. They took your hands, tied faith to the wall. Said, let's see how loud a sinner can fall. Sky was black, smoke thick with sin, and every hit rang like a song within. You didn't beg, didn't break, didn't hide. You smiled cold with the steel inside. The hammer swung and the crowd stood still. That sound was pain, but it bent to your will. Yeah, my low angle tracking. Sparks flash with every hit. Blood and fire reflect in your eyes as you keep breathing through the noise. You said go on, make your holy sound, but this hymn's mine, it shakes the ground. The wood cracked open, the nail caught flame, and heaven blinked when it heard your name. They tried to silence you. You made the pain a hymn, turned the steel to rhythm, turned the wound to grin. Every hit was thunder, every scream divine. You nailed the dark, and it learned to shine. You didn't need a crown, didn't need a throne, just the sound of truth through skin and bone. And when the sky went black, it still began. That nail kept singing for the fireborn man. They thought they'd hang your faith to dry, but it swung like a prayer beneath that sky. Ash fell soft, the crowd turned blind. You whispered, hell, redemption's mine. Blood dripped red on the dirt below, mixed with rain, turned to gold slow. And when the cross rose high, the air stood still. Every blow you took bent the devil's will. Wide desert shot, crucifix silhouette against stormlight. Ash rain falling, sound of nails echoing like war drums in distance. You said I ain't the saint they want me to be, but pain knows truth, it baptized me. Now the echoes hum in the meadow's vein. Your song still bleeds through the holy pain.
They tried to silence